Welcome back, all. Thanks for tuning in for my walkthrough of the final trials on the Master Sword Challenge. So as you can see, I'm using my treasure chest hunter on my Sheikah slate here, and that's going to be immensely helpful on the inside. I've also had time to experiment around with some different meals, and what's worked best for me is extra hearts, extra stamina, and a good defense meal or elixir. Now, if I really wanted to, what I really should do is find a blood moon and go cook a defense meal that way and pull 10 minutes out of that. That way you don't feel so rushed in here, because if you can get to the Stalknox with defense, that would really be a moneymaker for you. So, a little bit of preparation going into this thing would go a long way. Ow. That Hoyt. That dude tagged me right in the side of my nugget. And, oh yeah, watch out for lightning. That's a good time. Oopsie. And they don't give you a lot in here, folks. So every arrow counts. Every weapon in here counts, even the rusty stuff. Of course, doing this is going to eat your whatever meal you came in with. But it will pay off in the long run. I think that's about all in here, folks, unless you want more rusty weapons. I do vape. I quit smoking. Yay, go me. But I also have a friend here, a good friend of mine, Michelle. Say hi, Michelle.
Hi.
And she's being super cool about watching me go through this 50 times to get it right. So thank you, Michelle. Owie. Okay, so you can see even with the defense food there, that electricity smarts. This is the one time I'm going to recommend you guys blow up these bomb barrels. These Lizzles are not fun to play with. They don't play well with others. And I guess I missed the barrels. Oh well. Bad thing about close quarters combat here with these Lizzles. Well, for one, you gotta hit your target. But if you miss, hello bomb barrels. So pros and cons. I've done this both way. I have actually blown the bomb barrels up, and it cooks the food for you. There's actually meat in these things. And of course you also kill your Lizzles. Bad thing is that wrecks the durability of the wooden weaponry that's in here. God, I keep missing. There we go. So at least you get your food cooked. Of course, when there's arrows laying around, it'll tear up your arrows as well. So not only does it hurt the wear and tear on the wooden spears and all the other stuff, but the arrows will also dissipate on you. There are some buried treasure chests in these levels, as you can see. And take the time to get these, folks. You're going to find ancient arrows. And trust me, you're going to want every last ancient arrow. Royal Guard Sword, of course, those aren't durable. But during the final battle in this little section here, or the first part, I should say, of these final trials, this Stalknox, once you pop that eyeball out, you're going to want that Royal Guard sword. You should be able to whack that thing dead with that thing before you get struck by lightning, but of course that's a risk. So, you might want to kind of keep mental track of the time that you're spending there. You may want to go ahead and blow these things up, because I seem to keep running into them, even though I know they're there. Important safety tip. There are Stal moblins in this level. It seems like they only come out once I get a treasure chest, unless I just don't run across them by chance. There's 2 treasure chests up here, one up top, and then a metal one right over there. And you don't have to waste time with your magnesis. You can just lob a bomb over there and that thing will topple down just like a tree. Sweet. Of course, you can't use that yet, but there will come a level where you can use your metal weaponry, so absolutely take full advantage of these bows they're going to give you. So there goes my defense food. It was fun while it lasted. Very helpful. I already took a swat from an electrical enemy, so no telling what hearts I would have lost had I not had that defense. Uh-oh. Wrong way. Oh, sweet deal. So that's a night level bow right there. Okay. There's one walking around somewhere, just need to locate him. Got the headless horseman here. There we go. Whoopsie. Genius. Also, if you're coming in here with like 4 heart containers, you might want to go ahead and get some shrines done. Well, then again, I think you need like 13 to get the Master Sword pulled, 12 or 13, so you're going to have at least that many. But as you can see, the hearts go fast. Not having any defense. So keep that in mind. You might want to go get some more shrines done. Get at least about a row and a half before you attempt this. And that's getting back to a little bit of preparation in here goes a long way. Oh, come on, Link. You can do this. You can do it. One more try. Okay, bombs it is. The bad thing about bombs is you lose track of your ingredients, or whatever's gonna fall out of here. Yeah, not too much else going on. I don't hear any more beeping, so we're ready to rock and roll. Now this next part, there's gonna be some horses. The Stal Bobkins on horseback. And I'm not really going to be able to talk and play the game at the same time. I can't multitask. I could never rub my head and pat my belly at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work here. And first things first, find some altitude. Get that air time, slow down time, make every shot count. Hopefully I can get their attention. Come to Papa. Uh-oh. I'm trying to conserve that extra stamina for when I really need it. You can ride these horses. Just go ahead and spam that L button and get them tamed real quick. And that is kind of helpful because you can launch off the horse and get some airtime that way. And use the X button to jump, not the Y button or the B button or whatever your jump button is. That's the best one to do. The back button doesn't necessarily give you the airtime the jump button does off these horses. Oopsie. Well, he didn't like me there, did he? And apparently I got one more running around somewhere. Or not. That worked out. You're going to want to take your time in here, get every last bit of everything they give you. There's going to be some ingredients that you're going to want for cooking. Of course, we got to get past the Stalknox first. But attack power and defense are both available in this level. Or not this underground floor, more this, the first stage before you get to a cooking pot is what I'm getting at. Shock arrows, that's a money maker. That might actually come in handy for that Stalknox. I think that's about it, folks. Not too much else here. Actually, stand by. I almost missed whatever that's going to be, and of course every ingredient counts. Every arrow counts. Last thing you want to do is run out of arrows in this final stage here. Whoops. Alright, so this is it. This is the last big dude you gotta kill before you get to a cooking pot. My gamepad's about to die, bear with me. Alright. Take your time in here. Assuming you're prepared with arrows, you should be okay on popping that eyeball out. I'm actually going to try the shock arrow. That's one thing I haven't tried in here yet. Nope, doesn't do anything. That's unfortunate. So you can actually super speed around in here while you're targeting, and that's very helpful. And kind of hurting for weaponry. Uh-oh. The targeting doesn't always work right in the game. as many of you already know. No. Oh, come on, Link. Yep. I don't know what happened there, but I'll take it. Apparently when he did his butt flop, he knocked himself down for us. Isn't that polite? Uh-oh. I didn't put the weapon away in time. That's unfortunate. Okay, see, I'm trying to target, and there's no arrow, no nothing. Uh-oh. Yeah, that hurt. Couldn't get myself out of there in time. So when you're swinging your weapon around, the game doesn't let you change weapons. And I know better. I guess I was just trying to milk the cow and get him done here. I could afford the hit, but a lot of times you're not going to be able to afford the hit, so keep, be mindful of that. These weapons, the Thunderblade and the Great Blade, yes. Those are going to be immensely helpful. What am I doing here? I'll try that for now. Now, I'm not getting any ping... Oh, we do have a treasure chest in here. Excellent. And like I said, folks, you can relax at this point. You're going to get to a cooking pot. You'll get a little bit of a break. Yeah, it's trash. So, don't get in a hurry and leave, even if you have some defense still running or, anything like that, because you're going to want to take your time here to make sure you pick everything up. And you're going to want to take your time in the next underground floor and get your cooking done. There's a ferry in there, by the way. So do be mindful of that. Don't just, start super speeding around. You're going to scare the ferry right off. It's pretty close, too. So it doesn't give you a lot of running room, so as soon as you get into this next part, you're going to want to kind of do the creepy crawly thing until you get that ferry. Alright. I want to say that's everything. Not too much else in here. So we have the treasure chest with some ice arrows. Some more arrows. That's about it. You can already see the fairy sitting there by the pedestal up there. And it's very picky, so creep and crawl until you get over there. It's my best advice. You're going to be very, very upset with yourself if you watch that thing fly away. All you can do is say goodbye. Alright. Hearty truffles. Every hearty ingredient they give in here. Some people say, oh my goodness, I can get like 8 extra hearts. Well, not with hearty truffles, first of all, but there is going to be some hearty bass later on. But I don't recommend cooking them up into one meal. Instead, you're going to want to take those, cook them one at a time. Reason being, 100% complete heart replenishment for each one. So, get as many meals as you can out of those by cooking one at a time, is my recommendation. And the ancient arrows begin. So I reserve the ancient arrows for the flying guardians, the turret guardians, and the Lionels. Reason being, the turret guardians are going to chew up your weapon, something fierce. You can see these things are not loaded. It's very, very slim pickings. And since I can't seem to keep track of what flies out of these things, I think that's probably the smart bet there. Use that axe throughout these levels to open up these barrels and crates. With the exception of the metal ones, go ahead and just use your magnesis for that one. Save the wear and tear on that axe. And I think I pretty much pilfered everything there is to pilfer here. You could bomb these trees down. You might get some acorns, you know, some tree branches, but other than that, there's really not too much firewood. Almost forgot the firewood. You definitely are going to want some firewood. Don't worry about the torch. There's other ways to light fires in these places. Fire arrows, for example. So if you really need to light yourself a campfire, just go ahead and use your fire arrows. And I thought a couple of apples were on that tree. Okay, you see I just got an acorn there. Oops. Sorry about the manual menu scrolling here, folks. My toggles are uncooperative. And trust me, you'll watch me spending more time in these menus, trying to use the quick access menus. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to cook up here, and what I recommend, based on what's to come. But of course, you've got to do what works for you at the same time. So I'm just going to cook up all this meat, straight up. Get as many hearts as you can out of those. It's not too bad, 8. Have no less than 4 ingredients for a type. So you want high level. Now you're going to get more of this stuff. Attack, power, and defense, namely. The defense, I might go ahead and get myself mid-level of that. Not only that, it'll pull some hearts. But the attack power, I'm going to hold on to that until I get myself at least 1 or 2 more ingredients in the next round. And like I said, 1 at a time on the hardy stuff. That's going to give you full recovery plus 1 heart. And you're going to want that full recovery as many times as you can get it. The fairy is just an emergency backup. That's crap, I forgot to eat my food. Those hardy are for crap, I need some food. And I'm not really worried about stamina, so that's going to be a heart replenisher right there. And I'm not worried about the heat resistance. There's no need for that. Now the speed, it's kind of iffy. I don't know. To each their own on that. I don't use it. I'm just going to use that for heart replenishment, but it's there if I want it. Yep. Now I got quite an array of heart replenishment. If I just need a couple to get me by, just in case, I'm getting dangerously low. Basically, give yourself variety. That's what I like to have going in now. Just a quick overview there. And again, that was not for the stamina. That was for the heart replenishment. Alright, folks, that's it. That's my walkthrough of the first stage, I guess you can call it. The first set of underground floors. When we come back, we're going to be in the hot zone, the lava levels. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you guys back. Thanks again for tuning in.